Study abroad Edu Expo 2025. Get up to 50% scholarships. Join us on 27th April. Register now. The Next Education Consultancy, trusted partner for visa success.
The reciprocal tariffs imposed by the United States last week are set to take effect tomorrow. Accordingly, a 44% tariff will be imposed on Sri Lankan exports to the US starting tomorrow. In Parliament today, attention was focused on the measures taken by the government in response to the new US tariffs.
US President Donald Trump imposed a 44% reciprocal tariff on Sri Lankan imports to the US. Can the Honourable Minister inform this House what immediate diplomatic or trade-related actions were taken by the government to prevent such a drastic tariff imposition?
We had a meeting with the US trade representative where we discussed the possible option to reduce this trade deficit. The calculation is based on the trade deficit divided by its corresponding imports. Therefore, our proposal should also be based on the ways and means of reducing this particular gap. We will be having another discussion with US Trade Representative Office tonight at 8 p.m. In addition, the President directly wrote to President of the United States, Donald Trump, highlighting the possible ways of mitigating these things and the request for collaborations to reduce these tariffs. The White House has acknowledged that letter received.
Meanwhile, former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, commenting on the US tariffs, warned that they have triggered a trade war likely leading to uncertainty among major global economic powers, either through confrontation or reluctant cooperation. Wickremesinghe emphasized that the Sri Lankan government might fail to meet its revenue targets and warned of possible political instability in Sri Lanka and neighbouring countries due to the worsening economic situation. He claimed that during his presidency, a national tariff policy was planned for January 2025, featuring a simplified four-band tariff structure of 0%, 10%, 20% and 30%, and the removal of many para-tariffs. He also claimed that Cabinet had approved the fast-tracking of a trade national single window to address non-tariff barriers, but added that none of these measures have been implemented as yet. Finally, he urged the current government to resume ETCA negotiations with India within 3 months and to immediately implement the Thailand-Sri Lanka Free Trade Agreement to gain access to regional markets. Meanwhile, the trade war between China and the United States continues to intensify as President Donald Trump threatened to increase tariffs on Chinese goods unless China reduces the 34% tariff it imposed on the US in response to the new reciprocal tariffs.
If that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on. So they've gone for years. They've become a rich country because of people, again, that were in the White House that allowed this to happen. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they'd make on us on trade, and it shouldn't be that way.
China, responding to Trump's statement, said it would fight to the end and take countermeasures against the United States to safeguard its own interests.
I would like to reiterate that there are no winners in a trade war or tariff war. I would like to reiterate that there are no winners in a trade war or a tariff war. Protectionism offers no way out. The Chinese people do not provoke trouble, but we are not afraid of it. Resorting to pressure, threats and blackmail is not the right way to engage with China. China will take all necessary countermeasures to resolutely safeguard its legitimate and lawful rights and interests. If the US truly wishes to engage in talks, it should adopt an attitude of equality, mutual respect and reciprocity. If it persists in disregarding the common interests of both countries and the international community and insists on escalating the trade and tariff conflict, China will, as always, fight to the end.
Should the US proceed with the new tariffs, the total US tariff rate on Chinese goods would reach 104%. However, despite strong statements from both nations, global markets responded positively today amid speculation that Washington may be open to negotiations on some of its more aggressive tariff measures. Asian stocks rebounded from 18-month lows while European shares opened broadly higher. US stock futures also pointed to a positive open for Wall Street, where markets had previously dropped to their lowest levels in over a year before stabilizing. Oil prices steadied today but remained near 4-year lows. While equity markets showed signs of recovery, concerns about a potential global recession, heightened by the ongoing US-China trade conflict, continued to weigh on investor sentiment.